I got an agent on TikTok, to be honest, and it's amazing because you can't talk about anything to do with YouTube on there. YouTube don't mind you talking about them, but you can't do it the other way around. And I found it really difficult to find anything to talk about. I've got to be honest. I suppose it's one of them where you just go streaming if you're walking up a beach or something like that. So I've just sort of pop on in and say hello. So hope you're doing marvellous. If you do come in, please hit the thumbs up and share it out because then you get people in. I'm just having a quick, just having my dinner and then I'm going to pop off and do some work. But I want to be at work for 2:30, so I just sort of pop in and say hello. But maybe nobody's about at this time of the day. I hope I've gone live on the right channel because that would be really helpful. Because I've got 3 and I've been known to upload the videos to the wrong one. Cold, wet and rainy. Tuesday, what day are we on? 3rd of February. Roll on when it gets a bit warmer. It's boring as out, isn't it, really? You can't do out. You can't go anywhere. I was hoping to go to the coast yesterday and it was just shocking weather and you think, well, when you get there, it's too cold to do anything, so I didn't bother doing anything. So here we are again. So I'm just going to wander off for a second. This is dinner pudding. John Paul Glasgow, how you doing? Dinner time is 2:30 for me, yeah. Well, it is for me. Look, I just have a meal before I go out. Hello, Bill, how you doing? I've lost that much weight, you can't even see me. Yeah. I'm on my phone, otherwise you could come in and say hello, but you can't on a phone. It doesn't really work like that. I've got a Zoom room now again. I've been planning on doing all sorts of things and I never get anything done. But they offered me it cheap for the first few months, so I thought I might as well do it. I thought you couldn't eat bananas, when I first went on blood pressure medication. So I didn't have a banana for 6 months. And then right from being a kid, they've always been my favourite thing. And anyway, I discovered that that's not the information in the UK. We even let them come on sometimes. I saw you on the mixing show last week. That was brilliant. Good to see you. Are you going back on this week? Or has the snow cleared? Oh, you just said there. Is that your new thing then? Are you going back on, or has the snow cleared now and you're not interested? Wow, this is amazing. I don't know if you get these over there, Bill. Muller rice, vanilla custard. I'm hoping to get the recipe. 4 persons. Share it out. If you say that, they do. Ah, see. That's the trouble, isn't it? Sue changed her shift, so she's in for 11 o'clock at night now. I used to do a lot of my sort of recording type thing at ridiculous o'clock in the morning. So now you're a bit, obviously I can't come in and do things like that anymore because she's asleep in the next room, so you can't sit there shouting down the internet. So I'm slightly restricted as to what I used to do. What happens is, if you actually say share it out on it, it seems to share it out. And sometimes you'll get loads of people, and I've gained no end of new friends by people popping in and staying for half an hour and then subscribing and coming on nearly every live. And it's happened loads of times. It's a little bit like if you go live in the vertical, you do get everybody coming in. Tony Paradise. Was it Paradise? Hi, Mick. Just thought I would see who was on while cooking my dinner. And there you are. There you go. I'm having my dinner. I'm hungry right now, but for Mick, I'll wait. Get your dinner. Get your dinner. We ought to make it. We ought to make it live. We ought to do a live lunchtime, and everybody come in on Zoom and eat your dinner. It could be a new thing. All right. Oh, you're that desperate for the summer to come. I've got used to going out all the time, walking. But we've had nothing but driving rain for weeks, and it happens every single day. And I haven't washed the car for weeks, and it's absolutely filthy. But if you wash it within 20 minutes, you know it's going to rain, so I don't bother doing it. Oh, pine chips. I've only had Kraft cheese slices. Can you remember them from being a kid? Depending on how old you are, Tony. Kraft cheese slice with a little bit of salad cream on it was always my favourite meal for my tea as a kid, because I used to have school meals, and they were actually quite good in them days. And then I always have a banana, and I love muller rice. But then I'll come in and have some. I had quite a lot to eat yesterday, so I wouldn't say I'm on a weight loss journey or anything like that, but I've lost quite a lot of weight in the last year. So if I eat a lot one day, I don't eat half as much the next. That's right, yeah, exactly. It does, and it drives me insane now as well. I've never been much for going out getting exercise because I was always drunk, and I've been out and flying the drone now since, I don't know, did I get out in December? Probably that was the last time in December. But you just feel like, even if it was cold and bright, it's near enough, isn't it? Oh, banana sandwich. Yep. Can you ever remember a brown sauce sandwich as well? That was for the when you were waiting for payday, wasn't it? Really, just a bit of brown sauce in some bread and butter, and it made a perfectly good meal when you didn't have any money in. I hadn't had one for a lot of years, but I still would do if I'd run out of stuff. Banana sandwiches. Now, we used to have cooked dinners at one of them. We went on to the next one, and they weren't particularly good because they came from another school. They used to cook them at another school, so they weren't actually that good. And then they went on to a cafeteria system where you could just order what you wanted. And I was always a big lad, but I wasn't fat in any way. But I was fairly active in them days. And I used to have about 2 or 3 beef burgers in bread buns and a big pile of chips. I used to work at weekends, so I used to take some of the money that I'd earned during the week and use it to spend on dinner money because I used to eat that much. When I was 18, I could eat fish and chips twice. I used to order fish and chips twice. And they said, "Oh, do you want them separate?" So no, put them together. I'm going to eat them, and they were quite surprised at that. And once I went to the chip shop for the people I used to work in the garage, and I used to have fish and chips twice. So I get fish and chips twice for me. And when I got home, I'd ordered too many chips, so I had fish and chips twice and an extra bag of chips for my lunch. I wasn't very hungry at tea time though. We ate butter and ketchup sandwiches for dessert. We would eat butter and sugar sandwiches. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah. Well, we do a thing, Yorkshire puddings over here. I don't know what you'd compare that to, like batter, risen batter. And that was quite common in certain places to have one of those with your Sunday lunch, and then if there was any left, you'd eat them as a dessert with sugar and jam on, like a croissant type thing. I didn't really fancy that, but we were on about the other day bread and butter pudding. To me, it looked just like vomit in a bowl, but apparently some people say it's really nice. But even looking at it didn't make me feel like I want to have any. It was bloody awful. So I don't know about that. But I've not tried any. But I'm a massive fan of these muller rice things. Over the years, I've had every low-fat thing there is. And I think you just get to Yeah, I think it is. Yeah, and smell as well. It just looks foul to me. Yeah, over the years, I've had every low-fat yogurt they've ever made, and you just like stopped drinking and started walking. I thought, well, I might as well just eat what I want, and that's exactly what I do. I've become much of a fan of chocolate, though. To be honest, what's your favourite colour? It keeps coming up with suggestions for a Q&A sticker. What's your favourite colour? Green for money. What would be the point of making high-fat yogurt? Exactly. And they used to do like low-fat crisps or low-fat chips over here. So what would you do to a potato that's fried to make it low-fat? It's only got to be a little bit lower than the high-fat thing, and then they can call it lower, and they just take advantage of it. But I found if you eat a balanced diet throughout your life, and don't drink too much sugary drinks, then you should be fine. And get some exercise. You can basically do what you want, but you can't have a pizza every night and sit there watching the telly and have 6 cans of special brew. I found that out for myself. And drink tea. It's fabulous. So I've been trying on TikTok. Well, I can't get going on TikTok, I'll be honest. Well, yeah, that's it, yeah. And if you have a lot of people, or if you have people come round and you have massive food, massive amount of food on a Tuesday, on a Wednesday, remember that, and have half of what you would do on a Wednesday, and it sort of levels itself out. Wednesday here always used to be drinking night, so now what we do, we always have eating night. So basically, you can absolutely eat anything you want on a Wednesday night, and it ain't got any calories in it. Bags of sweets, crisps, everything. Big meal for tea, all the lot. But on a Thursday, you remember what you ate on a Wednesday and eat less, and it works out. I think the other thing is well, I don't seem to have an off button, so I don't have a bit where I think, oh, I'm too full. I think cheat day, yeah. Well, I suppose, yeah. Yeah, that's right, yeah. But I got some zero alcohol Guinness, and I actually like drinking that, but I don't drink a lot of it, to be honest. I had a can last night because Lou was here. And I only had 1 can and didn't bother with that either, really. So that seems to have gone away. So that's not too bad. Cheat day. I'm going away in a couple of weeks, so I'm looking forward to that. Hopefully it's going to be sunny there when I go. I don't know, the only thing with these varifocals, you end up doing this all the time. It's actually better putting a pair of readers on when you're trying to look at the phone, because you just tend to keep doing this. I'm off to Benidorm for 4 nights with the lads. Well, I don't drink anymore, so it's not a drink up. It's I say 4 lads. I'm the youngest, and I'm 60 in November, so it's not a lads do anymore, is it? It's an old duffers wander about. I never drank because I like the taste so much, so I never understood doing the no alcohol ones. No alcohol ones are perfect for socialising, because diet sodas are well. When I went to Benidorm in October, for about a day and a half, I drank diet pop, diet coke, and then I sat there one night, and I got the most terrible bad stomach, and I had to pop off, if you know what I'm saying. I'm not going to put too fine a point on it. So the next day I thought, and it actually, I'd started to get stomach cramps with it as well. So I thought, well, I don't really want to go back on the ale, so I'll try a zero alcohol one. And I actually got on all right with it. But when I'm at home, I just tend to have a cup of tea. You've never been to Benidorm, but wouldn't mind going to see what it's like. It depends what you like. If you're a person that likes to party, then be in the English half of it. If you're a person that likes to party sometimes, go in the other side of it. You've got basically the old town divides the two up. So if you get a hotel in the other side of the old town, or down at Finistrat or somewhere down like that, then you can simply walk into the busy area, and then when you get fed up of it, you can turn around and go out. Because some people, you get there and you think, well, this is absolute hell. But if you've got somewhere in the quieter areas, you just go back to that and then pop into it when you want. It's the same as anything. If you turn up there at 3 o'clock in the morning on a weekend, you're going to find as many idiots as what you do in the UK. Because that, it's late in the day or early in the morning and people have had lots to drink. But I genuinely like the place. And I like the bars. I like live music. People are friendly. You can find somebody to talk to. It's a different place on a weekend when it's. I mean, we were there on a weekend last time because we did the full 7 days, and it is so busy in October even, and it wasn't quite such a nice place to be on a weekend than what it is in the week. During the week, because on the weekend obviously you get all the stag do's over there and the end parties, and some people just don't behave that well when they've been drinking. So it wasn't as nice. I didn't feel that any threat towards me. I never had anybody. There's no threats or anything like that. Over here, you'd have seen a fight. Never saw a fight over there. But I suppose maybe just because we're a bit older, didn't feel quite so friendly at that time of night. But the old town's lovely as well. It's like but it's really warm. If you get in the old town September, we went there one night and you go in the bars and it's like 100 degrees. It's so warm because there's no wind because they're fairly tightly packed. But it's lovely in there. If you follow the original Benidorm TikTok guide on TikTok and YouTube, he's well worth a watch. He rides around on his mobility scooter and shows you around the place. 61, wouldn't mind going to the old town apart from Tenerife, which we go twice a year. I haven't been to mainland Spain yet. It's lovely. Yeah, I like it. Alicante, it's warm out that area as well. It's warmer. We've been going to Frigliana in southern Spain for years, and I fancied going to that area. We were lucky. We had my daughter's not very well, and somebody from a place called Benissa, which is past Benidorm, up on that coast near Calpe. They said, "Oh, you'll need to go and stay in our villa for a couple of weeks." So off we went, and they actually lent us a villa for free. So I took my wife and my daughter into Benidorm, and then we just had a meal and then came out. My daughter's 42, like we had the young kids with us as well. Sadly, the thing was we could only get parked for 2 hours, and because parking's a bit tight over there. And the meal took an hour and a half to come, so we didn't get much of a walk round, really. The only way to tolerate people drinking is to drink as well or leave. Yeah, exactly, yeah. But I mean, we're not talking like people that were drunk. We were talking people that were falling over drunk. Bolshy sort of drunk and throwing up. And you do get a little bit of that. But I say the old town or the other side. The Hotel Barley is down near Finistrat. It's a long way to get to Benidorm, but it's a really good hotel apparently, and it's one of the biggest hotels. She's been to where? Frigula. I don't know where Frigula is. Is that I don't know where that is. Is that Frigliana? Frigliana is a little white Andalusian town up near Nerca in southern Spain. They call that up there, and you get further up, they call it the Costa Tropical because it's so beautiful. And they get 320 days of sunshine a year. In the winter, it's fairly cool, but it's still sunny. The Mala Swag, how you doing? All right. We do get some people in here. Oh, you don't know how to spell it? Oh, yeah. Well, Frigliana, yeah. I didn't know if that was somewhere else. So I was making sure I was on about the right, because I didn't know whether you meant Fuengirola or Frigliana. that's where it is up near Nurka. You basically come out of the Malaga Airport, and instead of turning left for Marbella and uh, Estepona, Gibraltar, you turn right and go up the same motorway. Is it the E7? And you go up there about 40 kilometres. It's really easy to get to. And then you just come off, and you come off at the same roundabout. And if you were to turn right, it takes you into Nurka. And if you turn left, it takes you up to Frigliana, up the hill. But what we do, we go through the village and rent up in the countryside, up in the Campo, rent villas. They say that every family has that uncle who drinks too much, and if you think yours don't, then it's you. Yeah, well, that's right. Yeah, I drink it all now. Yeah, Frigliana. It's absolutely beautiful. I've got a friend there that he used to run a company renting villas and apartments out. So we went first time with Tui, and then we started renting with him because they only rented for certain months of the year. So we started renting with him, and then we went loads and loads and loads of times. But we've stayed in Torrox as well. I've stayed in Torrox a couple of times. The only thing is with Spanish accommodation now, you're nearly as well getting a hotel with Jet2 because if you try and rent it privately, we went in a place called Calasetti, the Fuerte Calasetti, and then somebody else bought it. They got it somewhere else, and they're basically serviced apartments. And we went for it once in January, and it was 200 quid. And then we went again in January, and I think it was like 250 quid. And then we went again, and it was nearly 500 quid. And we were looking for 5 days this year. They wanted £900 for 5 days. And it's nice, but it's not worth that. It's nowhere near worth that. Time to hit the shower so I don't stink the guys out later. Well, that's right. It's inside as well, so at least you won't be downwind. Enjoy your day. So anyway, it was, it wasn't possible. So we went to Whitby. So I went to Whitby for a couple of nights and it snowed. And when we looked on the Tuesday while we were in Whitby, it was 4 degrees in Frigliana. They had a cold snap this year and it was 4 degrees. Well, we went a few years ago and they had a bit of a freaky January and it was 20 degrees. It was beautiful. I wanted to stop another week, but my wife had to come home from work. It didn't matter to me because I'm self-employed. But it was absolutely gorgeous that time. And this place at Calasetti, we had one of the apartments that was facing the sun. So even in January, the sun came up like that, across like that, and down like that. And the whole time we could see it. But the only thing is with that, I think I had the doors open as well, even in January, to be honest, because I like a vape. So I had the doors open, even at night, but only a little bit. Whereas times before when we've been, you get sort of 17 in the daytime, and if you lay on your balcony with no breeze, it's nice and warm. You actually start to sweat because they had sunbeds on the balcony. But as soon as it got to 5 o'clock and the sun went down, so did the heat. And within 10, 15 minutes, it was really cold. And you'd probably then go in the room, and if you hadn't got the door shut quick enough, you would then have to put the heating on. But it was lovely. Eridora's a nice place as well, which is just past Frigliana on the same road. And we sort of discovered that one day. We went out for a ride one day, and we thought, look at that place there. So we've gone there, and we've stayed there as well. La Heredora. It's nice. Well, I say it's gone up. Even you go in Lidl's, and we've been that many times. To the same place, you realise. I mean, I sort of know where the stuff is in Lidl's, if you know what I mean. And you realise the price of shopping for the Spanish has gone up no end because that particular, that area there, they're not catering for tourists. They're catering for locals, and the price of food. I mean, like a pack of burgers. I can't remember how much they used to be, but you didn't even used to notice they were that cheap because they were that cheap when you bought them. And I looked, and there was 4 burgers, and they were €5. I mean, they've gone up double in the last few years. And when you go out, we used to go out for a bit of a light lunch, and I'd have a salad and a few bits, and it'd be 20 quid. I used to probably have 1 pint with it or something like that. a couple of salads, a couple of drinks. I don't know, maybe a pudding, 20, 25 quid. And now you're talking, well, we do it slightly different, but now you're talking well over double anyway. So it's nice. I don't know what Tenerife's like. I haven't been for years. I went to Callao-Savaki for my 50th birthday. Went up on the villa estate and rented the villa, and my family come out. It was lovely, lovely place. I'd like to go back now. I'm a bit of a YouTube creator and do some filming there, to be honest. We went up in Tim and Fire. Not Tim and Fire, what they call it there. Different one in it. Tim and Fire's bloody Lanzarote. I've been up there that many times. I recognise the people behind the counter. Anyway, Tady. We've been up to Tady. We got up there and I said, we'll go up in the cable car. And we were flying at 8 o'clock at night, so we had to be at the airport for 6. And I think the next available bloody cart thing that goes up in the hills was probably, well, it wouldn't have left us enough time to get to the airport anyway, so we didn't go. So that was a waste of time. Anyway, if you're interested in Frigliana, and you look on my channel from either late September or early October, I can't remember when the video come up, there's actually a tour of Frigliana, so you can have a look around. If you're interested, after you've had your dinner, with your pie and your chips. But I really love it there. I don't know if we'll get there this year. Ah, yeah, Adecchi, yeah. Yeah, well, we used to stay in the Laguna Park 2. This is many years ago as well. So Adecchi was fairly up and coming then. And then some friends of ours, they come out to see us, even though we didn't know they were coming. And they had a timeshare, so they swapped a week. And they went in some timeshares just down off that roundabout. I can't really remember, to be honest. It probably looked completely different if I went back, because they've only got to build a bit on the end. And we went to theirs one day, and by God, it was nice. But the Laguna Park 2 at the time was very, very basic. But that's all we wanted, to be really honest. We had 2 kids, and we just wanted somewhere to sleep, somewhere to make a cup of tea. We used to go out for all the meals, because at that point it was that cheap you could eat for bugger all. Did you go and see Tim? Do you watch Tim, the Living with MS in Tenerife? He's a nice guy. That's a good look round every morning. He goes for walks all around Callao-Savaki and Las Americas and Adecchi. And I'll give him a subscribe. He's really good at it as well. He's got about 95,000 different cameras all fastened on this thing, and he's got camera pointing that way, camera pointing that way, camera pointing that way. It looks really good. I don't know if I'll ever make it out there to see him, really, because that'd sort of be my thing, going for a walk, because I go for a walk and I like to film things. And I absolutely love. Ah, lovely. Ah, it's excellent. Yeah, he's a lovely guy, isn't he? I popped in on one of his shows once. The only thing is, his streaming app's a bit, I don't know, it's a bit stiff, shall we say. So you end up, it's really hard work, because you end up all delayed in that. So it wasn't the best time, but lovely. I'm pleased about that. Yeah, I'd like to do that. I'd like to, because we stayed there, and my eldest granddaughter is now 19, coming up 20 in June. So what would she have been? I'm 59, so 9 years ago. So she'd have been 10. And she's always had really long, thick hair. She's got the most beautiful head of hair. And of course, she was 10 years old. And when they're at primary school, they always end up with bloody hairlines, don't they? So we went to, they come over, and she got a dose before she come. So we had to go. I always watched Tim walking past that chemist next to that cafe near the bakery. And I think, that's where we had to go get that Nick cream from. Because my grandson was he'd have been 6 at the time, probably. I think he would have been 6. My wife's there putting this stuff on her hair because they all have to do it because they all had long hair. And he's going, "What's up, Nana? Have you got knits? Have you got knits, Nana?" God, it was hilarious. Absolutely hilarious. But I always think of that. There's a curry house as well in Kaleo-Savaki. But when you go in, apparently you can tell them how much spice you want. Well, we went in and never said anything. We didn't read it well after in the reviews. Well, I got a jalfrezi, and it was at least a madras. Ah, right. Oh, brilliant. Oh, that's lovely. 2020. Oh, you got it. We managed to get out in 2020, and we went. We ended up going to Turkey because we were going to go back to Gran Canaria, and they kept shutting things down and shutting things down. Anyway, eventually we got to Turkey, and we got back. We'd only been back a week, and they shut that down as well. So we'd have been in trouble there. Oh, brilliant. Yeah, I'd say I wasn't even doing out to do with YouTube last time I went there. But I said it would be the first thing I did. I'd go for a walk with him if I could, because I just think he's like not far off my age group. He's basically the same as what I am. Really, he's interested in talking to people and he likes doing YouTube. It's perfect, really. He's lost some bloody weight. Have you seen him recently? He's lost no end of weight. He's done well. Obviously, if you want to do well. What time are we on? Right, I better go. It's I've been on half an hour. I've got to be at work really. I'm technically supposed to. I'm self-employed, so I can do as I like. But this agency joined me up on TikTok. I've never really got on very well with TikTok, so I thought, well, I'll have a go at that. But I just can't get on with it. So I got the urge to come on YouTube because it just does me head in. So right, I better go because my mate's ringing me up to see where I am. So I'll catch you all soon. I'll probably be back on later, to be honest, because it's Tuesday night and I do like to go live. But as they say, please like and subscribe.